Okay, this time it was my fault personally for not getting around to this. The internet's been fine this week. Okay, so this was a good episode. Not as great boot as I was thinking, but it did reshuffle the game dynamics quite a bit. So, yeah, this did kind of redeem last episode, even though that wasn't a bad episode either, let me tell you. Okay. So, jumping into it, Tony comes back to camp with everyone else, knocks everyone's torches off. Pretty great, some foreshadowing for what's going to happen later on in the episode, although we don't think of it as that much then. And, yeah. So then, Tony starts talking with LJ about keeping the Sixen together, but then he launches into that confessional of his, where he starts comparing LJ to himself. Now, based on what we know of just what is being shown in the episodes and a couple of the secret scenes, okay, we would think that Tony's being crazy. I mean, like, yes, if you're going to compare the guys that are left in this season, LJ is the closest to Tony in terms of physical prowess, along with the amount of influence he can carry, because LJ is pretty influential to the group. Maybe not getting everyone swaying towards a positive, but he can create ripples, just like Tony can. Jeremiah and Rue, not so much, and then Spencer, well, Spencer's all over the place in terms of that. Okay? But if you saw the after show bit with Pav, you would realize that actually Tony was fairly correct, provided, of course, you would assume that LJ is telling the truth. But I feel he's telling the truth because of how calm he is, of how easily he responds to Pav's questions, how much he moves his hands, that kind of thing. He has no reason to lie about this kind of thing. It's just like Colton. He didn't quit to One World, he was pulled, okay? Probst is just being stupid saying that he quit that season. Although I'll admit, this season, he's actually been pretty well so far. He's been delivering good reactions for pretty much everybody. Not bad. First time I felt like he's been pretty good with his relationship with the contestants since One World. I've talked enough about this topic. But in hindsight, LJ could have been a lot more like Tony, just he changed his gameplay, like with Morgan, based on how all the other contestants responded to him, and then his edits, like with Morgan's, although a little more on LJ than Morgan, made us firmly believe that he wasn't that great of a game player, whereas if this was a typical 9 vs 9 player seasons, I bet he and Morgan would have behaved a heck of a lot differently, along with David and a couple of other people. Yeah, this is definitely one season that I would have liked to have seen, that 9-9 situation. A lot of people would have argued that for Philippines, I think, but given how crazy Philippines was in terms of making people like it, I think you wish that it would stay like that. Alright. So moving on from Tony's comparison of LJ, he also throws in the idea of Wu getting a little crazy. Well, had Wu actually done what Tony said, yes, everybody would think he's crazy, but since Tony is actually doing what Wu is supposedly doing, everyone is thinking that Tony is crazy. A little bit crazy, don't you think? And this is the first time that I feel like Tony overplayed it, but it could have real big consequences for him, because, yeah, I agree with pretty much everybody. It was too soon, because at the start of the episode, it was 6 people versus 3 people. You don't do it that early unless the other side has power, like in Kara mode. Somebody in the alliance is distancing themselves from said alliance. That's happened in a couple of seasons of Big Brother. Or if there's only like one member left in the alliance, and then somebody within the alliance is causing a lot more problems by making deals within the alliance. That's what happened in Caramon with Andrea. So yeah, I agree that was too soon. I know that this seems like I'm jumping a little bit all over the place, but it's been a couple of days since I've seen the season. Usually I record these on Thursday. I'm recording this on Saturday, okay? So then we've got that reward challenge. I totally thought it was going to be the team with all guys just because of how strong they are. But it wasn't until after they won that I realized actually it's got two of the main people right there. So to all those people who were complaining about it was being like staged or whatnot, that Spencer would find the clue that his team would win, along with him winning immunity, you shouldn't have been complaining about that last episode, okay? Now, this episode is probably the type of episode you jump on that, even though I don't feel that way, but who knows? I'm open to the possibility of Survivor being staged, but it has to be proven and severely discredited. I've seen various other reality shows that have bits that I think, like, that sounds weird, and it casts quite a lot of doubt on my mind about them being real or them being staged, but it doesn't discredit them. Unless it's stuff to discredit Survivor, okay? But moving on from that. Tony breaches the idea to Spencer and Jeremiah about getting rid of LJ, and, well, of course, somebody in their positions, they want to go on anything that would get them further in the game, but it also gives them an opportunity to get back at Kaz, although they never really state that, so why not? What have they got to lose, really? Come back to camp, and then Tony starts gradually talking to everybody on the opposing side about that, and he even talks to Wu, and since Wu is fairly trusting of everybody, yeah, it makes sense that he would be like, what the? What's the benefit to getting rid of me? Well, the main benefit to getting rid of you is that you're kind of unpredictable, Wu. I mean, like, given what they're showing for next episode and his edit so far, it doesn't seem like there's much to him, but given his physical prowess for one thing and what he did with that ninja stealth mode, he's one of the characters that if you don't know much about him, you feel kind of uneasy because you don't know what he's going to do. Now, if you compare Wu to Jeffra, on the other hand, Jeffra, it's been very predictable what she'll do so far. I mean, like, yes, she is with LJ, so that doesn't mean that she's going to do everything she necessarily would do if she was playing for herself, but Jeffra just feels like, in comparison to Wu, she's a lot easier to figure out. I hope that made sense. Alright, and then there's the bit where Tony sort of tells Trish about it, and then Trish ends up bottling it up. Yeah, part of it makes sense, but part of it doesn't, because, like, Trish actually could have spilled the beans to LJ, or done what Rob suggested. Gather Tony, gather LJ, take them apart, and then just go, okay, I know one of you is lying, but who's lying? Now, she'd probably be able to figure out easily right there, even if they both argue that the other one is lying, but yeah, it's tough. We'll never be able to fully understand why she didn't do anything until she gets voted out. Just got a text. Okay, so, the immunity challenge, not much to comment on, except, when it came to that final round, I knew automatically that Tasha had it, and I did kind of want to see LJ lose because of that stupid smirk on his face. Now, I don't mind LJ, but this episode did kind of... This episode did kind of give him the, like, calmness and then full of himself feel that Penner got in the episode he was booted in Philippines, and Andrea got when she was booted out of Carabao. Now, I like these people, and I like LJ also, but this is a case where somebody got perfectly comfortable, is like, we just go like this, everything is going to turn out. Now, people say that all the time in the show, but this is a case where they won't say, yeah, this will work out. Nothing to worry about, I can relax. This is a case where they say, oh yeah, everything will work out, I've got nothing to worry about, I'm gold, cha-ching! Blindside material right there, and that's what happened. Tasha won the immunity, and LJ eventually went home. Oh yeah, and to you guys on Solana, yeah, Tasha won immunity, you should have gone for her. Or Kaz, for crying out loud. Yeah, I still am amazed that they didn't consider that, although Pav actually brought that up in her interview with LJ. Yeah, Pav got it, but why didn't Rob get it? Yeah, guys, come on. Yeah. So I've kind of already said all I need to, so LJ leaves, he knows who flipped based on how the votes eventually went, and yeah, it was a bit of a bummer to see him go, but I never thought that he was going to win. I did put him on the topics to win, but that was just based on where I thought everyone stood in that particular episode. I mean, after that particular episode, okay? That wasn't necessarily who I really wanted to see win, or who realistically I thought would win. Okay, I've been wrong on topics before, and people that I really liked and wanted to see get far have been voted out, because like Penno in Philippines, okay? I never expected him to win. I expected him to either be booted the first couple of times that he was available to, or he'd get maximum as far as he did in Cook Islands, and that's basically what happened. He got to day 30 and then was booted. Never thought he'd win, although I really wanted him to get far. And that's what I thought about LJ. I did think that if it was a Final 3, he'd have more of a shot of winning over Tony, but Tony is playing a better game, and even though this did hurt his chances, at the same time, it is a pretty brilliant move. I mean, like, it hasn't been that many times in Survivor where someone in the majority alliance has gone to either the minority or everyone else of the alliance and then plant false moves that somebody is going to disrupt the alliance, even though that person very well could do it later in the game. So yeah, I did kind of hate to see LJ go, but at the same time, brilliant move. So this is definitely going to put Tony in hot water as he's created another spy shack. Dude! Anyway. So, next week I'm real curious to see if there's going to be any new alliance scrambling thing, because, I've heard some interesting possibilities. One of the guys at AfterBuzz suggested that there could be a bit of female gaining up over the guys. I wouldn't really mind that, because I do want Jeremiah to go, and Wu going would make it a little easier and keep the major characters in for a while. Then I've also heard that a lot of people wonder what Jeff was going to do. I am hoping that she kind of breaks out of the shell a little, even though I bet that would probably get her booted just like Morgan, but hey, that would show, like the other two beauty girls, there is a little bit of a different side to her that it wasn't portrayed, Alexis being a big fan of the show, and Morgan actually being a fairly good people person, just the people weren't good with her. It's not exactly like that, but I think you know what I mean. So that'd be nice to see a little bit of redeemedness from her. That would mean that the only beauty member that actually didn't bring something into the game is Jeremiah, but who cares about Jeremiah, except for the young pretty girls who are going, oh yeah, country boy, he's just so... hate that kind of thing, really. I mean, like, I am kind of ignoring those kinds of people when they talk about LJ, but at the same time, LJ's got a strategic mind. Jeremiah has... Seriously. Okay. So, anything else I feel like talking about? Nah, not really, except, oh yeah! You know how everyone is talking about why didn't Trish tell anyone in the Alliance that Tony was going to do that? Well, I wonder what's going to be happening if she tells anybody this now, because obviously, she could reveal to everybody that Tony is a big threat, but at the same time, people might question why didn't she tell us this before? And she's been with Tony since day one, huh? So that wasn't that great of a video, but that's because I recorded this late. I did include a lot of what I think I wanted to say, but I'm sorry that I wasn't as organized. That's what I get for recording this 2 days later than I normally do. Well, see you guys.